Hello and welcome back to ASD Gaming. We are starting a new playthrough because, well, I've only got 2 videos of my summer car, but I've got a lot more stuff recorded for that, which I never posted, and kind of took a 10-month hiatus because I found things a little bit difficult, especially with editing. I'm not really good at editing, but I'll carry on with that. And I thought that potentially Project Zomboid might be a little bit easier in terms of the editing requirements. Now, I think the greatest difficulty that I'm going to face, especially in the beginning, is my ability to sufficiently talk in a way that will be captivating or interesting for those watching. But I'm hoping that what will resonate more with the people watching, or the people who will choose to watch it all, or maybe watch more than one video, will be the way I like to do things. The channel is called ASD Gaming, which I know is not original. There's other ASD Gaming channels out there, so I might change the name into something which is slightly more unique, something more personal to me. But ASD Gaming kind of reflects how I play games. I'm a person who's on the spectrum. And that reflects how I approach a number of tasks, or a number of how I approach the tackling the mechanics of any game. Muddling through is what I do, but well, you'll see it in action. In any case, I've got a few hours of my summer car videos to edit and sort of upload, and maybe continue the series if I'm up to it. I also have a couple of hours, or a few hours, of the long drive, where I'm not intending to do a full a full playthrough. My intention with the long drive, because there are lots of sort of playthrough videos out there. My intention was to create the longest viable road train, and I've kind of started doing that. I've hit a limit, which I'll explain when I in more detail in the videos that I upload for the long drive, assuming I get around to it. But the limit is that I have so many trailers that going uphill becomes impossible, because there isn't sufficient traction or engine power to pull them, and then going downhill also becomes impossible because you don't have brakes on the trailers. You only have brakes on the main truck, so every time you try and slow down, the trailers kind of start bunching up to each other, and the physics can't cope with that. So therefore, every time you try and go downhill, it's just a mess. Anyway, Project Zomboid. I've been playing this game for, Steam says about 400 hours. I think in reality it's closer about to 200. That's primarily because, right now, for example, this is the 4th time I think I've tried to record the introduction, and I get sidetracked and I talk about a million other things, and we end up being half an hour into the video and with no actual game through. But hopefully this time will go better, and you'll actually see this. So I've got about 200 hours. I've played the game with various settings. I think I'm kind of used to the mechanics and the combat, and I've developed some preferences. I've added a whole bunch of mods to the game, which I will show you here, and I've started the game, but I haven't done anything. I've just spawned in, and that's it. So we've got the sort of standard maps, and then there's a few from so I've added Bedford Falls, and a few more from Snake's Mod Pack. Primarily I've added vehicles. This doesn't work, and I really want it to work, because it doesn't make any sense to me that I wouldn't be able to take a door off its hinges and kind of take it with me when I'm creating my own base. I find it very frustrating that I'm not able to lock the door. Because what I would like to do is, if zombies, uh, go through windows and kind of, work things out, I would like them to be able to open doors. Um, but then I also would like to be able to lock them, which I can't. I can't. And having, you know, changed locks on real doors in real life, um, I, I can't fathom why this, you wouldn't be able to create one. I mean, I can add cheats and spawn doors or do stuff like that, but um, I don't like playing with cheats because it becomes well, I do like playing with cheats when I want to explore the mechanics or test the mechanics or kind of do creative mode stuff where I don't have to grind for a million hours just to be able to add a second floor and test the mechanics of a second floor in the house. But for this playthrough, I don't want them. They're very tempting to use, and I wouldn't be able to resist. um, I am generally a fan of modding and cheating in games. If you're talking about single player experiences, I like to tailor single experiences to what I find pleasurable, because after all, a single player experience is an experience that is there for me to enjoy the game in any way I see fit. I do like to play the games the way the developers intended, but then at the end of the day, it's I buy the game, it's my time, so it has to be enjoyable for me. So I've got the Snates mod pack. I haven't enabled everything. Generally, I don't want to add too much in the way of maps. There's the expanded gun store, for example, which I went and I looted, and I noticed that there was the building didn't make sense because the rooms didn't sort of cover the full thing, and then found a sledgehammer, destroyed one of the walls, and was a huge loot stacked behind one of the walls. And while I do enjoy having guns in the game, especially once my character kind of levels up, I can run away from stuff because guns attract a lot of zombies. I didn't want and this is also why I haven't added any gun mods. I think guns are a little bit OP, and I don't want to be in the world to sort of dominate it and take over everything and kill all the zombies. Although I would like to do that at some point, but I want it to be easier, but not too easy. So the settings for the world are I've turned the spawn rates to normal. And I've made it so that zombies don't respawn. But I do have a high population of zombies. I think the multiplier is 2, but I've started them at 0.75 with a peak at day 60. The main reason for that is because we're at the start of the apocalypse, and you would assume that's well, in my mind that kind of makes sense. There's a lot of people infected, and they'll just keep getting infected until everybody's infected, but then there's no reason for zombies to respawn. It's you have a high population, you kind of have 2 months to get yourself sort of leveled up. Now this is all wishful thinking, obviously, because I may die on day 1 or day 2. But in terms of what I envisage the world to look like, you will have a few at the start of the apocalypse. You have quite a lot of zombies, and then you get more and more as they infect sort of the last survivors, and that's kind of how the population goes. But then once all the survivors are infected, then that's kind of it. There's no respawn. There's no reason for zombies to reappear. And what I like to do with that mechanic is, I go to an area. I generally prefer starting at Riverwood, establishing a base there, clearing the surrounding area, which kind of makes it a little bit easier to deal with helicopter events. And I've got helicopter events on sometimes. it's better. It's easier to deal with sort of the population movements. I have been royally screwed by a helicopter event. I think I was at the Gigamart when a helicopter came by. I didn't know about the full mechanics of how the helicopter works, and the helicopter attracted every zombie and their relatives to the Gigamart, and I promptly died. I think I've got. I mean, I've deleted some of the games. I think you can see, and although some of the playthroughs, like this one where I'm like 6 months in, I think. Um, it doesn't show a skull. I think I'm on my fourth character in that playthrough, or maybe fifth. I've died 5 times, and I just kept respawning with the same character and carrying on. But what I don't like about the last playthrough is I had the Hilltop Survivors. Anyway, I'm talking too much. Too much talking. No gameplay. I'll have to edit this down. Um, but yeah, so I've got snow is water because you should be able to melt stuff. I mean, at the same time, with the water collectors, while I know that the snow is water gives you added water in the rain collectors um, when it's snowing, at the same time they should be expanded so that when the temperature goes to below freezing for quite a while, then your rain collectors, the water in your rain collectors should also freeze. Um, because, well, that's what it would do. So we're improving the realism by saying, well, if it's snowing, the snow will turn into water in your rain collectors, but then we're sort of ignoring the fact that, rain collectors would freeze if it gets too cold. Because I would like to sort of try and set up a system where you have an outdoor one and an indoor one, and that kind of, hold you over during winter. You might go and shovel some snow and then melt it, but also, you'd have like a system of containers, indoor and outdoor, so that the indoor water would sort of carry on going, and you'd be able to survive through winter. Anyway, I'm rambling on. Um, we've got the RVs, we've got some water trailers, we've got fuel trailers. Just to sort of expand the kind of stuff you'd be able to do, or the stuff you'd find in the world. I think that the reason why the mods exist is because people wanted to see more variety in the world, and that's kind of what I wanted as well. And the other stuff that I have here, which I would like to see expanded by modders, is the ability to create apocalypse vehicles. I mean, if I was in a situation where I knew there would be zombies out and on the road, I would like to, fashion a bull bar for the car, or if I knew that I might get stuck, I'd sort of add things to get, sweep the zombies out of the way of the car, so my engine and my hood don't get destroyed every time I try and take a drive somewhere. Anyway, let's go into the game. So far, this game has proved that to be true. I would very much like to say, well, I have a character that has survived, a year or two, and he's only getting stronger, and the base is only getting stronger, and blah blah blah. So, there's no reason why this character wouldn't be able to survive indefinitely. So there, suck it game. But so far, there was a hope of survival. There has been a hope of survival. I've died every time. Um, and let's see how I will die this time. So, no thanks. So, what is, how do I pause? Let's pause this, there we go. Right, so, what is my character? My character, well, I've tried to sort of balance. Um, I mean, I would like to take additional skill points because you come into the apocalypse. You'd have some skills. I mean, if I was placed in apocalypse now, um, I'd probably be level one fitness or maybe level two, um, probably level 8 strength. My sprinting would suck. I wouldn't be light-footed. I would probably level 2 nimble. Sneaking, I don't know. But carpentry skills, I'd put myself at a 5 starting off. My cooking would be at a 3. Farming would be at a 1 or a 0. First aid probably at a 2. Electrical, maybe a 6. Metalworking 0. Mechanics maybe a 4. Tailoring maybe a 2. But you can't really do that. But you're a grown man. You find yourself in the apocalypse. I mean, what is this? You know. So I've taken unfit. I've taken underweight. Underweight, I think, is very underweight rather. I think is a good thing to take at the beginning of the game because there's a lot of food that you can find. The houses are unlooted. There's, especially if you spawn like in a town, you can amass and consume a lot of food very quickly. And I think in my previous playthrough, I was able to get to like 82 kilos in the space of like 2 weeks, which is ridiculous as a mechanic. But it is what it is. So yeah. This is very close to what I look like in real life. I've lost the color in my hair at a fairly, relatively young age. And this is what my beard looks like now. Probably a little bit longer than that, actually. And yes, I do have a ponytail. Although my hair isn't, because you can't use different colors for hair and beard. My hair's dark. My beard is white. Well, gray. Anyway, so what are my traits? Cat's eyes, dexterous, fast reader. Get through that reading those books. Although I find that to be sort of a double-edged sword because if you want to read stuff to occupy yourself while there's a thunderstorm and stuff like that, and you're trying to stop yourself from getting bored, then you get the effect. I would rather spend a lot more time in the actual reading process um, rather than reading through the book quickly and getting the moodlet to go away. But anyway, outdoorsman, just to cope with wearing clothes that protect you from bites and scratches while it's warm, because they also tend to be more insulating, so you kind of tend to overheat. Wakeful, just to minimize the amount of time sleeping, give less of an opportunity for bad things to happen while you're asleep, and also spend more time awake doing stuff. Make the most of your day, as it were. A fast learner, just to increase XP gains. I think for this playthrough, I've set my XP gains to 3, the multiplier. Whereas in other playthroughs, I've had it to like, maybe 10, just so I can raise some of the skills faster. Organized, I love this. I am a hoarder not a pathological hoarder, but I'm definitely a hoarder. I like being surrounded by my things, by things I may need, things that may be useful. I don't like throwing things away. I like permanence around me. And that's what hoarding kind of provides. I mean, I have clothes that I really shouldn't be wearing anymore, but I do around the house that are like 20 years old. Because there's nothing fundamentally wrong with them. Just, I mean, some clothes with a little bit of paint that I used when I was doing DIY and stuff like that, are nice, warm, or comfortable, and there's no reason to throw them away. Just not wear them outdoors. Stout, that helps in combat, especially in the beginning. Right, so job 1 in starting out. Get yourself a weapon. Don't engage in combat with more than one zombie. Secure food, build up strength, increase sneaking and light-footed so you can sort of move around, and find a base that you can defend. And in this town, I have, we're at Riverwood. I found a spot that I think is kind of, oh come on, really? Okay. I have found a spot I'll show you that is generally fairly easy to establish a quick base. It's the one of the small houses right next to the gas station. It has a big wall on the back, which means that it's, you know, makes it slightly less likely for zombies to wander through from the gas station. It's close to the police station where you may or may not find your first weapon. In some playthroughs I found, you know, a complete set of weapons. In other playthroughs I found the gun but it had no magazine. So I had a gun and bullets but no magazine to go with it. But anyway, let's get to it. So yeah, okay. So I can't look at the map yet. So I'm not gonna get any of that yet because I don't have a backpack. I can hear a zombie, so let's keep it quiet. Ooh, that's gonna help with stomping. That's a nice find. Put that away. I'll come back for more stuff. Oh, I don't like the sound of the zombie. I really don't like the sound of the zombie. Right, let's close the curtains. Just to make it less likely that they'll see movement to be attracted to. I'm not really happy with this spawn. But hey, it's better than nothing. Ooh, bandage. Let's hope we won't need it so quickly. Alright, close the curtain here. Close the curtain here. Just so we can move around for a bit. Now I think when we go into the kitchen, that's like, yeah, that's a problem. Right, can I close this? Let's try and oh, bollocks. Alright, I'll let you in. Come in. Right. Right. Oh, bollocks. That's not a good start. Hopefully I will only attract a few. Can't hear any more coming, so close the curtain, close the window. Now, anything good on these zombies? Oh, house key. I like having house keys. Right, nothing interesting. Baggy jeans. What am I wearing? Let's wear the boxers. Not helpful. These are light. Let's take these. What I'm really hoping is for a, but it's not here, which is annoying. I wonder, that will work. But it doesn't last long. I want rolling pins work well, pans work well, just as a, you know, as a way of. Alright, so what am I gonna do? I'm gonna grab this, I'm gonna grab this, and everything else I'm gonna stick in the freezer. And I do this in all the houses, just that I loot initially, try and find weapons and stuff until I get established, because then I can go back, and the food will kind of be preserved. So I'm basically, and if I'm able to, just pause the time. If I'm able to do this with like Milk and More, or any of the places that have any of the food stores and stuff like that, I go there, and I move all the fresh perishable stuff into the freezer, as a way of future-proofing some sorts of food. I don't want to overly rely on canned food, until I sort of establish a base, and then I establish, because I don't want to spread out myself too thin. Farming is fairly easy to do quickly, but trapping and foraging and stuff like that, not so much. So I want to try and preserve a food source for as long as possible, and perishable food in the freezer in the beginning seems to help a lot. And then canned food, and then you can keep yourself going while carpentry, you advance carpentry and build rain collectors, and then you know preserve yourself, or have things to preserve yourself and keep yourself going after the water and electricity shut off. Water and electricity shut off, I've got 2 to 6 months, but that's because I'm lazy. Uh, and also, it doesn't. I would like to establish a base before everything goes to hell. Right, this is not too bad. What did I? What did I? That's a bit fast. I thought I put it to 3. Did I put it to 5? Anyway. Right. Oh, hello. Right. We want to go in that general direction. Right. Why don't you come to the house so we can talk about things? Right. There you go. Oh, you have a house key as well, but it's only for this house. Right. So I want to go in this direction. This is not a bad spawn, and actually the tool shop is right down there. But I don't want to get big weapons, or my favorite weapons right from the beginning, because right now my maintenance sucks, so whatever I get I'm going to quickly ruin. Alright, let's go in the house. Come to my ready room. Come on. Oh, this is a bad idea. Oh, there you are. There we go. You missed, I missed, we suck. There we go. Good. You have a wallet. Alright. Who's next? I really want to go in that direction, but I can't. Not yet. So, who's in the neighborhood? And also, how did this person die? Are these the supposed owners of the house? Yeah, oop. Gimme. Alright, 1050. Oh, you saw me, didn't you? That's fine. One at a time we can sort of deal with. And in terms of, yeah, when they came, I was quite lucky when they came in the way that they came. There were 4 of them in the beginning, but they came through the window one by one. And I managed to find the boots right before I aggroed them, which makes it so much easier for stomping. None of them went for the lunge, so stomping on them was quite easy. Right, I love having vehicles, so I am going to try and see. Right, let's go check in the house. First of all, let's see. Sometimes the key's out on the ground, but not here. Ooh, hello, hello, hello. Oh, bollocks. There's 3 of them. Right. Where's the 3rd guy? Okay. Do you have the keys to that vehicle? I hate it when that happens. Although the bad animation thing works both ways. You may miss, but they also miss. Or you get something that looks like a bite, but then it isn't a bite. Now, do you have any fuel? No, you don't. Okay. Yeah, I've also set the condition of the cars to be good. Well, I think normal. I would put the settings to normal, because, you know, some vehicles would be effed, but, you know, I mean, this doesn't make sense. Why is this car in the driveway with no fuel? You can argue that it's been looted, but, you know, this is the day where we started the apocalypse. And this is the type of thing that, you know, I have difficulty getting past when I play games. And affects the way I respond to games, affects the way I play games. Oh, come on. Okay, I should have tried the door first. Ooh. Hello? That was 3. This might not be the best place to be. Actually, the car's out of gas. I was hoping if I would come in here I would find the keys, but even if I do, there's no gas, so we're putting ourselves in danger for no reason. Alright, what I do want to accomplish is make my way over to that house, but we're going to encounter quite a few zombies between that place and ourselves. That's interesting. There's a barricade there. Come on. Yeah. I know you saw me. I hate this pathing that they do, where they don't go straight for you, they go around to your side, because when you encounter them in groups, it means that they appear from left, right and center for no reason, and they screw you over every time. Anything interesting? Ooh, the digital watch. Okay. Let's give you that, and I'll take that. There we go. Now, I'll get a screwdriver and dismantle all of those. One of the other things that I do is that if I find interesting bits of clothing, I take them off the zombies, drop them on the ground, and then come back for them later. Okay, how's the durability doing? Oh yeah, the durability thing is something that I also felt compelled to add after, you know, because if you're holding a meat cleaver, you're able to see what it, you know, what its condition is. You don't have to go into your menu. Hello, do you mind if I have a look at what's going on? Oh, I see you have a friend on the other side of the door. That's interesting. I once entered a house where somebody was, there were cake slices on the floor. I'm like, ooh, cake! Somebody was wearing a party hat, so I tried to pick up the cake, and then there were like 6 zombies in the kitchen, all casually hanging about. Okay, you have 2 friends in the bathroom. Is anybody approaching? Not that I can see, so we'll let them out. Well, they let themselves out before I could let them out. No, don't push them away, just keep hitting them. There you go. Any house keys? There, thank you very much. Right, anything else interesting? 2 holes in it. I would like to use blunt instruments if I find them. Hello. There we go. Oops. Now, we need to fatten up. So, let's start braiding the fridge. Alright, these can go in the freezer. And we'll eat this. Good. Let's carry that around. Attach that to the back. This is in better condition. Let's grab that extra for when the rolling pin gives out. That's a good find. Drink some water. Okay. I have a banana for later and some chips and a peach. Okay. There we go. So it'll probably take us all day to reach the destination, which is maybe 100 meters away from here. Through a combination of kiting them around. Ooh, that rolling pin is in really bad condition. Now, that's quite a few of them. This direction is where I want to go, so let's stay like this and try and deal with them by. What I like to do when they're in groups is that didn't work. Get one over, deal with them. Get another one over, deal with them. Ooh, alarm. So what I've done with the alarms is, again, as a protest to what the game calls realistic zombies, is when I go in a house that has an alarm, I set it off. When a zombie goes in a house that has an alarm, they don't set it off. Why? That doesn't make sense. If an alarm is going to be triggered, it should be triggered no matter whether it's a zombie or not. I mean, what's so special about a zombie? And I'm not talking about a zombie walking into a house, you know, because maybe you can argue, you know, the zombie's undead, so it's not going to trigger the infrared sensor. But no, if it's, you know, motion sensor or, you know, breaking the window or opening the window, then it should work no matter who does it. Bollocks. It's both good and bad what happened. I have a lot more to deal with now. I need to go. I really need to go and hide. I wasn't prepared to deal with so many of them right from the get-go. But hey. Fuck off. Thank you. They broke a window and entered the house. Ah! I hate this. I should be able to judge distance. This isn't good. Yep. I really need to give you some throat medicine. Okay. Okay. I've bitten off more than I can chew. I really need to go hide before I get too tired. Sit down. Okay, okay. Stop. Stop. The only reason why I'm not so opposed to killing so many of them, because I'm gonna get super unfit. I'm gonna feel the pain of being unfit very quickly, and I'm probably gonna put myself in a dangerous position because then I won't be able to run away. Is because of no respawns, and I know that they will respawn. In some areas, simply because I've got the population set to increase over the next from 0.75 to what it is now to 2 over the next sort of 2 months. Oh, you were trying to go in from the outside. There you go. What did you see in there, you naughty boy? Naughty boy. But I want to clear out this entire area as much as I can, so I don't have to watch my step every time I want to refuel a vehicle. And also, I will run into some survivors, and I find survivors as a mechanic quite useful, which is kind of what I'm hoping will happen when they add the NPCs officially into the game, because you can get them to do the stuff that you need to do. But you find tedious, like, you know, get them to chop wood, or you go and chop wood and then you get them to carry it towards the base, so then you can do some building and stuff like that, and I find that quite useful. So I think at some point I was talking about the alarms. I've set the alarms like that because I think that's what it should be. But then that event attracted zombies from all over the place, and then I had to deal with them. Which isn't good. Now I'm not exactly sure what happens to zombies once they stop being attracted to the alarm. Do they go back to the original place? Do they kind of stick around? Judging by the number of zombies here, it was probably that house. Right, in any case, I'm gonna be looting this later. I know I should be staying indoors and watching TV, but I'm really scared I'm going to attract a lot of zombies. One of the things, the other things that I like to do is, because I've kind of set the cars up to be a viable option. And I think there's a few too many. I don't know what I've done with I kind of messed it up. I think, you know, having cars in parking lots is fine, but not so many. What I like to do is, when I have a plethora of cars, I try and find one I don't really particularly care about, and then I use that to clear an area. The only downside, and I need to install this mod at some point, the only downside is that any zombies you kill with a car don't get counted towards your kills. But I think cars are a good way to clear out an area quickly. And I've got I wouldn't say I've mastered the technique of doing it, but I've got kind of a system that makes it sort of viable, assuming you don't care about the car and you don't mind it getting destroyed. But it's really useful, especially in the beginning, if you happen to find some keys laying around, and it's a vehicle that you don't care too much about, then you can use it to clear out an area while you're still feeling rested. And then when the car dies, as it might do, you still have enough energy to run away from whatever zombies there are left. So let's have a look. Are there any keys around here? The good thing about the alarm is that anything in this direction will have been primarily cleared outdoors, so I can loiter around the car park. How are you guys doing? If you're watching this video, then you might want to know a few more things about Project Zomboid, or you might already be a veteran player, and you're trying to watch somebody potentially play in a way that you haven't thought of playing, or do things that you haven't thought of doing. There's an interesting thing that has happened with Railroads Online. Railroads Online. There you go. I got through that. Where there was something that was quote unquote discovered about the industries where when you open a chute to get resources dropped into your car, there's a spawn rate for the resources, or a flow rate if you like, and you can sort of cheese that. If you open and close the chute at a particular place, you can just get it to respawn it, to get the resource to spawn as fast as you open and close the chute. And that was something that I discovered, and I'm assuming other people discovered through playing the game long before. Oh, that's another thing that I hate. The I am pretending to be dead mechanic, which I should have checked the floor. Now you have a duffel bag, so you're very important to me. But I had discovered that, and not only it works with the coal industry or the iron. No, it's not the iron. Yeah, it's the iron ore. It works with the coal, and it also works with the water towers. Right, so you're mine. And do you have anything interesting in you? Ooh, a hammer. Good. That's always a useful thing to have. Now let's move in the general direction of where we're going, because, like I said, it will take us all day to get there. Now, I've completely lost my train of thought, as usually happens, and I don't know if I'll be able to rescue that in editing, but one of the reasons why I like watching other people play the games that I like to play is because, well, it's crowdsourcing ideas. You find that other people do things in a way that's more efficient than you, or less efficient than you. It's sharing of knowledge. It's sort of like a collective experience, albeit not shared live. You're just watching other people play, and then you kind of adapt your play style based on that. And it's one of the things that I'm doing as well. I'm showing you how I play, and maybe you can, maybe some things I do in a way that you think is better than what you currently do, or it'll just reaffirm that the way that you play is better than the way I play. Right. I've killed quite a few zombies so far. Let's move a few things in there just to draw bar. I'm gonna eat that. get our weight to start going up. And we're already in a good position for doing that. But I also want to reach the area as quickly as possible, so I can set up a semi-safe base for the night. Right. I'm gonna go in there and do the food preservation that I was talking about earlier. Please die. Okay, you're dead. Perfect. Now, the group of houses is over there. And because it's on the outskirts of town, it's generally less prone to being overrun by zombies even after you've cleared out the ones that were there. That being said, the helicopter event does tend to push a lot of them around, and there are quite a few in various pockets of trailer parks and so on and so forth, that if they start moving towards your area, then you're kind of done. Right, I've never understood why. Where's the burrito? Right, let's eat that. I can hear a zombie. Right, let's grab that and that. I don't remember if the muffin goes off, but we'll stick all the food. Why is this called non-perishable when it clearly is perishable? Anyway, let's put everything in the freezer. I said let's put everything in the freezer. I'll come back for it later. I can hear a zombie. I can hear a zombie. Right. And the granola bars, because they tend to go off as well. These tend to go off too. So let's take all the stuff that we know spoils. I know this is probably the most inefficient way of checking for things. That's everything. Let's go grab the fruit. And then we'll stick that in the freezer. Alright. Time for preservation. Right, in the freezer. Alright, we'll keep the banana, we'll stick those in the freezer. Freezer. And freezer. Okay, I'll do. Now there's another food place on the other side of the houses. I'd like to go and do that as well. There's actually two food places right next to each other. And that kinda is a good setup because it's close to the base, you can go looting there every day. It's a constant source of food because we're trying to fatten up in the beginning, just to get rid of the underweight thing. Bollocks. I wanted to attract 2 of them at most, not 4 of them. Everybody wants to start going on that side. Okay, anyway. It's already 4 o'clock. I would like to ideally go and clear out the other side of the houses, just to minimize the chance of one of them or some of them coming around to the house while I'm sleeping due to the overnight movement. I also need to find, I want to go to the market or to that shop, because I'm more likely to find things like a pipe wrench. Oh, I forgot about this guy. I don't want to be so far. Okay. Hello. Okay. Right. Let's clear out the... Oh, bollocks. The house is literally the next one after that. There we go. I'll take that. Oh, come on. Let's clear out them. And them. Okay, we're gonna be here a while. Good rolling pin. I don't really have a... The meat cleaver is dying. Normally I like to create some sort of gap so I can look in cars. Sometimes weapons spawn in cars. And I'm not talking about guns. I don't want to use a gun. If I use a gun now, it'll be a suicide. But might find a wrench, or a pipe wrench, or a pickaxe, or an axe, or a baseball bat. And they're quite helpful. Sit down. You're not dead. Are you dead? No, you're not. Oh, you were dead. Okay. I'm surprised I haven't felt the fatigue yet. Probably because I keep eating food. But if I remember from previous playthroughs that I picked sort of this combination of traits, I wasn't able to fight as many of them in the beginning. Maybe it's the fact that I'm using the meat cleaver, but I used to get tired like immediately. Which made me very apprehensive. I mean, for a, you know, start of character with these traits, I feel like I'm being overly brave. I mean, how many zombies have I killed? I've killed 70 zombies in 7 hours. That's... yeah. Come on. Come on. There you go. Ooh. Hello. This is going to be my neighborhood. see all this grass that you're about to start fertilizing? I'm gonna pick all of that off the ground. Eventually what I would like to do is, after I establish a big base, get myself... I don't know if I'm gonna use a truck. I don't know what the fuel consumption is like on that. But I know like a truck has a... what is it, 1560 maximum trailer size? Whereas, well, I say that, that's the size when you have the organized trade. But I would like to make my way over to Louisville. There's a base I would like to establish that's by a gas station and... I'm getting distracted. And liquor store just before the military encampment. There we go. Okay. Now this is really going to slow us down. Okay, how am I doing for water? Let's put all of these in the bag. And I think I'll enter one of the houses to drink some water. I can hear a zombie. Yeah. I can hear a zombie. Where are you? Are you in the bathroom? Are you on the other side of the house? Okay, there was a zombie in that house, and presumably they're coming for me. Yeah. I find that... I mean, I know my sneaking is low, but when you enter the line of sight, they'll start heading in your direction. Because there's this thing about zombie memory. So there's a few mechanics I disagree with. Since we're going to get into the subject, well, since I'm getting into the subject, I don't force you to follow me along. So when I found one of the, I can't remember, MSR, I might be pronouncing the 788 with a big scope on it, and you can shoot zombies from, you know, as far away as that, you know. So you shoot a zombie from here, you hit the zombie doesn't die, the zombie makes a beeline for you. But at the same time, you know, you're sort of crouching and sneaking, the zombie shouldn't be able to see you from that far. Because they normally, even if they're looking in your general direction, or even if they are aggroed, or even if they are looking, they don't see you. So it doesn't make sense that when you're shooting from that far away, they are able to know exactly where you're coming from. And we're talking about a rifle with a silencer now. You know, and you hit him, and none of his friends get aggroed, you know, make a beeline for you. This one, they saw me through the window, broke the window, and made a beeline for me. Now, it doesn't matter whether I would have hidden behind the house or sort of gone in a direction. As soon as they come out of there, they make a beeline from you. It doesn't matter where you're hiding, where you are. So they, you know, they have mystical powers in terms of being able to see you. And it ruins my immersion. And I don't know how to fix that. Alright, there could be one in the bathroom. Let's listen out. I really need to wash myself. Okay, there's nobody there. Alright. Wash all clothing. Alright. Wash yourself. And let's see. Need some food, need some water. Alright. Pit stop. Don't need to read any of those yet. This will be useful. Let's leave it here. This is where we're going to make our base anyway. Well, not this house particularly. Right. all these in the freezer. Save for later. Anything else? That's in good condition. Take it with us. I mean, I would like to use this for cooking, but our meat cleaver's gonna die. The rolling pin, which I like, has no durability. I have no skill. Did I drop that? I did, didn't I? Let me guess. I attempted to put that in my bag, but put it on the ground instead. Okay. We like to muddle through games. Okay, that's the house, and the reason why I like it is because its bedroom, it's got trees which block line of sight, it's behind that wall, and it makes it, let's say, decreases the chances of you getting random spawns, and it also always has a curtain. Which again is generally helpful. So you close that, close the door, make yourself less visible. And life is good. Oh, you're in the bathroom. I can hear you. Unless you're behind the house and I'm assuming it. Right, eat that. Stick that in the freezer. Right, anything useful? 2 frying pans. A rolling pin is what I would prefer to find. Anything useful in here? We'll find what in the other house, didn't we? Right, let's deal with you. In the bathroom with no house key. Right. Dismantle the radio later, but we don't have a screwdriver. Right. Ooh, wonderful. It's open. I mean, I don't mind, generally speaking, because I like to sort of level up mechanics and electrical so I can hotwire cars, sort of was one of my priorities. I don't only hoard resources, I like to hoard cars as well. And some of my later playthroughs, this whole neighborhood and sometimes even this area here is kind of full of cars. The other thing I like to do is I like to go around towns, sort of clearing out the busiest areas, and then hotwiring all the cars and leaving them parked on the side of the road just in case I ever find myself in a place where my car dies and I need another car and I'm being chased by zombies and so on and so forth. The other thing that I used to like to do is not going to the most common spawn areas of Riverwood, because it's sort of my favorite place to spawn, and put hot-wired cars for my next character in case I die. But then I think it's more important because I don't like to having to retrain and do burpees all over again and build a character from start. I've kind of stopped doing that. I want to try and keep this one alive as much as possible, and then if they die, then that's it. I'll delete the world. I can hear one. He's behind the house, though. Oh no, they would have been here. Let's just check if anybody's coming. And just a very quick peek from the back of the house. I see a dead person there, which isn't. There you are. I could hear you. And you have a duffel bag. But no prisoner outfit. What are you wearing? Right, let's put that on the ground, see if there's anything interesting in there. Ooh, peanut butter sandwich, gimme. Because I'll go off anyway. Now, can I hear one in there? No. Let's go in the house. Alright. Ooh, the meat. The meat, the meat. Yep, gimme. This will be good. Kitchen knife. Let's take that. Right. Cabbage, cherry, lime, onion, everything in the freezer. Right, and where's the perishable stuff? Alright, I'm not going to be able to eat all of these, so let's stick those in the freezer as well. Stick that in the freezer as well. Good, and we'll have some stuff for cooking later. Now let's eat the banana. Last time I played through, I got double chevrons, which meant my weight went up very quickly. I think I already said this before, my weight went up to like 82 kilos in the space of like a week or something, which is insane. And then I had to starve myself in order to go back to, I started starving myself progressively when I reached the sort of 79 kilos and started reducing my food intake. But the double chevrons wouldn't go away, and then it went to one chevron. And I mean, you know, starving yourself is a viable option, but not in this playthrough because I'm constantly fighting zombies in order to sort of clear out the area here. And starving yourself makes it more difficult for combat, especially when your skills are low. And especially when combined with me being unfit. Being unfit, having low energy, it's just not viable. Okay, there were a few in that tree. There we go, there's more. Bollocks. There's a few here, let's take those out first before we attract the other ones. This is my neighborhood now. Ooh, fuck off. My meat cleaver's about to die. And my meat cleaver's dead. Right, we need that. Hello. Oh, okay. Well, that was unfortunate. Well, I mean, I knew it was coming. Right, so we'll drop these on the ground for now. I don't think I'm gonna bother restoring them. So, drop, and this will be the next one. Now I'm hoping the downside of this, oh there we go. The downside of this house is that it doesn't have a curtain here and here. Right, this is a good find. I'm not going to take it because I don't want to use it yet. But I'm going to take this so I can preserve it. This is good high calorie food to fatten up. Any rolling pins? I prefer that to the frying pan for now. Oh, it's in good condition as well. Right, that's okay. Freezer, freezer. No, freezer. Okay, good. We can make sandwiches later. Right. Anybody else at home? Nope. Right, so light off. Curtain down. Okay, that's generally a good place to sleep. Now, what I would like to do is get a couple of curtains for here, just to make this house as less prone to attracting zombies as possible. And one of the reasons why I like this place is because there's a few houses, which means that we can secure all the food in the fridges. In the short term, there's 2 shops up in that direction with food and resources. There's the other one we passed on the way up here, and then there's also non-perishable stuff and the gas station right behind us. And over across the way there's the police station. So it's a good place to get some stuff early on without having to travel too far. Also, not too far from here is the water, which means that there's, well, in my understanding, slightly fewer zombies. Well, there are no zombies, I think, past, let's say, 300 meters to the north. So when the helicopter is to our south or our east, there's fewer zombies to attract and kind of bring into this house. And also because there's of this wall here, a lot of them will sort of circumvent the house and go in the direction that they want to go without bumping into the house. Because when they bump into the house, they just like to go through the windows, simply because of how the mechanics work, and it makes it more difficult to defend. Eventually, what I would like to do, and what I tend to do, actually, while we're here, let's set the base. So area selecting base, area select area. So I generally like to set this as my base because I have the survivors on, and I like, in theory they're supposed to respect this and not come and loot the food and the resources. But eventually what I would like to do is build up. So this is, let's say, level 2, level 1, height 1, height 2, and then this is on height 3. And one of the things that I like to do is I like to use this for solar panels. So I start from this house, I demolish this roof, and then remove the stairs as well. So then go up with a sheet rope, and then kind of create an isolated island that eventually has power and water. So when safe from zombies for the helicopter events, but also has the amenities. And then I kind of use this as my base to venture out in different parts of the map. The other thing I like to do, which kind of why it takes me forever, I mean, it took me 6 months of playtime, well, not playtime, but 6 months in game time to reach Louisville. And the reason why is because as I ventured further and further out, I'd like to clear the area of zombies. I'd like to clear the highway of burnt cars, remove crashed cars from the roads, so that once I've reached an area, I can travel back and forth without having to remember where every single burnt out car is, sort of enable myself to travel at slightly higher speeds. Although that being said, even though I do travel at higher speeds, I've killed a couple of characters in car crashes, which is never helpful. What is your problem? Why do you have slight damage? You're wearing boots. You're stomping on somebody. Right. I'm gonna have to go to sleep soon. I haven't cleared that side of the area. And I am worried, but not very worried yet. I mean, that being said, it can come bite me in the ass, as tends to happen with this game. And I can hear some zombies. Alright, there's ready-made soup here. Let's stick that in the freezer for now, until we're ready to cook it. That worked quite well. I can hear somebody. Now, are they in the house? Or are they out of the house? No, they're out of the house. Ooh, they might be in here. Ooh, you have an M9. That's 2 M9s. I've never found so many. The door is barricaded. And there's a zombie on the other side. Now, I've never seen that before. The door being barricaded. That's interesting. I'm going to have to go through the window. Right. I would like to take those guys out. Let's give ourselves some food. We're trying to get fat. And also having the energy seems to help a lot with not getting immediately tired. Now, I think when I kill somebody here, they'll inside the house will hear me and they will either break out of the window or they'll try and break through the barricaded door. Is anybody else in the neighborhood? There's that guy up there. Okay, I haven't checked this house, have I? I do apologize for the noise in the background. I have the window open and somebody's using a trimmer. Because apparently... oh, come on. See, this is what I mean. Fucking hell. I hope I'm not bitten. Alright, we have nothing to disinfect that with. Let's stick the bandage on for now. And try and loot the bathrooms here. While also closing the window. Because screw that guy. That's what I hate about the animation. Where's my hat? There's my hat. Now, where's the left hand? Okay, I didn't have any protection on that. Anybody home? No, I shouldn't close the door until I know the house is free. Right. That's grapes. Let's eat those. Stick that in the freezer. The other place I would like to go, fairly sharpish, is Spiffos, which isn't too far from here. So I can put all the burgers in the freezer. Now, let me go back to the car, because it's a camper van, so we'll have some food in the boot. But also cars tend to have adhesive bandages and alcohol wipes in the glove box, and I would like to disinfect and rebandage. Hello? Hello? I saw that. There we go. So, let's take that. I'm guessing this is meant to appear in the fridge of this vehicle, but for whatever reason it doesn't. So, most of the subsequent vehicles that I will find will have fresh stuff in the trunk that will have gone off. And that makes me sad. Right. You can go in there, you can go in there, and you can go in there. Okay. Now. Hello! Negotiations failed. Right. Does this actually have a key? No key. Alright, let's take that for later. Alcohol wipes, there we go. And bandages. Alright, let's take that in. Okay, now. The other thing that I discovered with cars, and vehicles in general, is that if you start an action, like let's say starting to read, now if you do that while you're on the ground or sitting down, if you try to run, the character will stop. But if you're in a car, your character will not stop. So what I did is I tried to read a skill book in the car, and a zombie came up and I couldn't do anything because my character was like, yeah, I know there's a zombie breaking the window right now, but well, no, I must finish what I'm reading. Those skills are important. I'm so engrossed in what I'm reading that I don't care. You know, it's like the meme of that dog in the fire. Everything is fine. So I did end up getting scratched, and then bitten, and then the character died for reading stuff in a book. So while I do want to bandage myself, I'm not going to do it while I'm in here because I've had bad experiences. Right, remove the bandage. Oop, no. Disinfect. And then adhesive bandages. There we go. And that noise you heard was my cat. Okay, so we're gonna be tired and we'll want to sleep soon. So the last thing I'm gonna do is just very quickly go up in this direction, because we'll have the tired moodlet soon, which means that our attacks are gonna be ineffective. So I don't want to take on too many zombies. I just want to take on a couple that I've seen here and there, like this guy who's close to the house. And then it's going to be time to sleep. There's one group. They are very close. It makes me worried. And these guys I will take out. There might be some in the trees, but it's dark. And I know I'm being overly brave, much more than I should be. Okay, there's one. One of the things I haven't figured out is if you wear a bra, does that provide... I mean, I think it's not in the stats, so therefore it doesn't. But does it provide protection from like torso bites? Or if you wear that like under, you know, your jacket or your shirt and stuff, would that provide additional... I don't know. Oh, the other thing that really pisses me off with this game, and I do apologize for the language, is the lack of protection from scarves. Now I understand that, you know, there are certain limitations and you can't make them OP and so on and so forth, but if I'm wearing a scarf, or certainly any scarf that I've worn around my neck, I don't think it leaves my neck, regardless of whether I'm getting attacked from behind or not, accessible to being bitten. You know, especially if it's a woolly scarf. You know, there's just too much material for you to be bitten. Now, on the flip side, you could argue that, yes, but if you're wearing a scarf, you know, somebody would also be able to grab you from the back of the neck and throw you down, which also isn't in the game, so, you know, what the hell do you want? You know, you're asking for realism in one way, but, you know, you should also be having realism in another way. You're only concerned about the realism that makes the game unfair towards you, or the lack of realism, but then you don't concern yourself with the realism that would make certain aspects of the game even harder than what they already are. And yeah, you're right. And well, you know, I'm human. I'm pretty sure, pretty much. Oh, come on. That's a lot. They are too far away. I don't think there's anybody here. So I'll take those two out and then we'll go to sleep. I think those are the groups that are most likely to sort of wander in the direction of where I'm going to be sleeping. Okay. Right. Let's celebrate our victory with a sandwich. Can't hear anyone. I'm hoping they're not in the trees. I have to go through here. Well, I mean, don't have to, but dying in stupid ways is probably the most frustrating thing about this game. You know, you have a leveled up character, you know, you're the master of sneak and so on and so forth. You enter a building, you don't raise any noise, you kill zombies one by one, then you open the door, there's like 6 of them, and panic, push a button to go in a particular direction. Your character runs into the group of zombies rather than out of the group of zombies or whatever, and then you just die. Or, you're traveling from one place to another, and this is all stuff that has happened. I'm traveling between, Riverside and West Point or whatever you want to go, and you've already traveled that route a few times, you've cleared out all the zombies, and you can travel at any speed, and then all of a sudden, there's one zombie sitting in the middle of the road. You're like, oh fuck, I'm gonna take this guy out now. You get out, you misclick, you get bitten. Whereas now we've killed what? We've been up for 15 hours. We've killed 112 zombies. We've been scratched, so we are at risk. But we put ourselves at risk, to be fair. Right, sleepy time. Can we hear anybody? So if I died now, I'd be less cheesed off than, the time where I got killed by one random zombie that I was trying to clear out, or the time where, the ninja stealth zombie appeared behind me and bit me while I was wearing a scarf. I'm wearing a scarf, bit me in the neck, how? How? And I had the huge backpack as well. That's the other thing. No, not rest, sleep. You have the huge backpack. If somebody approaches you from behind, it's going to be more difficult for them to lean over and bite you in the neck. They have to be a lot taller than you. Alright. We're now fully rested. How are we doing for weight? Still 60. Where's my sandwich? Right. Let's ration that. Drink some water and then go up towards the other shops. We also want to clear these guys out, so we'll drop anything nice they have on the floor. Okay. Right. Anything to be concerned about? Probably will be. I need to find some sheets. I take them out so we don't start getting sick. One of the other oops, I don't want to remove grass, I want to drop the corpse. One of the other mechanics I tested to see if it makes any difference is I dug a grave. I stuck some corpses in there, and then once the 5th one goes in, the character just closes covers up the grave. And then I dug a furrow on top of it, just to see if that would count as fertilizing, but it doesn't. So I would like to try it with non-infected. I mean, there are survivors in the game, but I don't think the game expects survivors. I don't think it would make a difference. But I'm kind of surprised. Why is the presence of rotting corpses, as disgusting as that sounds, not making the floor more fertile? It should. Alright, this is the shop up here. I'm gonna go clear anybody who's in that area. I like that shop because it generally has tools. You'll find leaf rakes and you'll find screwdrivers and stuff like that, and you'll also have some radios and some electronics. So we'll be able to start leveling up electrical. And what I am hoping is for a stronger melee weapon. More vehicles. I sincerely hope one of them will be open. The other thing I want to clear out, but I'm going to do that at daylight. Do I have a weapon equipped? I do now. The other thing I'm hoping to be able to clear out is the gas station next to the house. So I can then fuel my vehicles. Alright, you're going around the corner. Also, the other thing is, okay, so one zombie there. The other thing about playing games like this, although the stakes are a little bit lower, is that I'm generally not very good at spotting things. I attracted too many of them. Oh, come on, how could I only... Is that everyone dead? Good. Alright, so there's one shop with fresh food here. There's more fresh food here than there, and they have more fridges than they do. So, anybody home? Alright, let's start hoarding fresh stuff to take to the other store and stick in the freezer. Alright. So, correct container, loot everything. Loot everything. Loot everything. Loot everything. Loot everything. Okay. In the name of preservation. How are we doing for weight? 22 out of 23, alright. We need to go to the other place. Start sticking things in the freezer. There's a group there. I'm not worried about them yet. Alright, this is boring to watch, so I may speed through this. Alright, let's see if we can get a vehicle. It's no key. And I can't hotwire it yet. But it will be a candidate for later. I like not having to break windows so I can hotwire a car. There's less to fix. There's a little bit of gas. It's an okay condition. This will be a good vehicle to clear out the zombie horde if necessary. Okay, we looted a screwdriver. We don't need an empty gas tank yet. Plus there's one in the store, or more than one in the store. Haha! Right. Get that for later. Now let's check if there's fuel. The other thing I like to do is there's another spawn place not too far from here. Okay, good. We can start driving this immediately. And then there's a bar here that we may spawn in. So I generally like to go and clear that side out a little bit. But like I said, I'm not gonna respawn. If I die, this is the end of the playthrough. It doesn't matter how far I get through. There's usually more cars out here, but this is another place where you spawn. And it's very frustrating because normally there's sports cars here. As far as I remember, there's always one or more sports cars that spawn here. So you spawn in the bar. There's primarily alcohol, maybe some chips and some sunflower seeds and stuff like that. So you have something just to get you started. Sometimes there are some tools in there, so we'll go check. But then you come out and there's like sports cars. You're like, ooh. But most of them will be locked or out of gas, and you won't be able to hotwire any of them anyway. So it's like, the game laughs in your face. Right. Anybody home? It's usually empty because it is a spawn place. Oh, bugger off. And watch this. Okay. One time I did jump in here and an alarm went off, which wasn't useful. Right. Can't hear anybody yet. Nobody making noises in the bathroom. Anything interesting? Nope. Well, the other thing I generally don't do is I don't pick the smoker trait. That's because I have it in IRL. And my character getting stressed and having to satisfy the habit in the game would prompt me to want to do it IRL as well. Even more so than I have to. So yeah, I didn't want more of that. I'll be useful later, so let's grab it. Ooh. Okay. Question is, where is the Chevalier? Is that nearly the same spawn list as this one here? That's the other thing that I don't like, is that sometimes one container will be an exact copy of the other in terms of what gets spawned in it. But then again, it's just, I would classify it under first world problems. Right. The stuff, that it's the key for that car, isn't it? No, it couldn't be for this car. It would have to be for this car. Let's see, when we approach, do we get the key sign? No? Huh, interesting. Maybe when we approach the boot. Right. Battery 100%. 90% charge. Everything is screwed in this car, but the battery is just fine. Okay, so it's not the key for this car. So, which car is it? Alright, let's go do a clear out of the back home and put the perishables in the freezer. But first, I would very much like to drive home, but I know that until I clear out the immediate surroundings, driving home will just be a recipe for getting all the zombies attracted to the sound. Alright, I'm going to kill you in here in case you give me a house key. Nope, no house key for me. Can I... There we go. There you go, I'll put you here next to your friend. How am I doing? Okay, that's not bleeding too bad. Anybody else? These are useful for hoarding stuff in the initial phases. Right. Can't hear anyone. Anything interesting? This will be useful later. Now, one of the other reasons why I like having a vehicle early on is because this is a fairly small town, so I can go to drive through the middle of it with a car, beep, get everybody collected in a corner of the town, and then just drive away. And that kind of makes the middle of the town with all the shops a little bit more manageable. But if I drive now, everybody, because the house isn't too far away, everybody's just going to follow me around. So if I wanted to drive this to the house, I'd have to drive in this direction, honk, get all these hordes attracted further away from the house, and then drive back. So we have access to a car, but we'll save it for now. Right, we'll go in this direction, go to the gas station, and then over to Spiffos, and try and preserve as much food as possible. And again, this is boring to watch and sort of probably not good content. Alright, let's clear those out. The other thing that happens a lot in this game, because it tends to, because it's the nature of the game, is you start saying, okay, I'm gonna go do blah, and then you have 17 distractions. Right. And then your plan just goes out the window, or you have to change your plan. Alright. Neighborhood is gonna be unsafe for a while, until we kill quite a few zombies in the general vicinity, and it makes it less likely for them to wander over. In the meantime, what I'd like to do is right, everybody, this is I like ham, very useful stuff. Add a sheet. Right. Now I know that the general advice is, you know, watch the shows in the first few days of the TV on the TV because it's free XP. But in this playthrough and in this area, because there's the video store not too far away, you can kind of compensate for that, and you can instead concentrate on saving all the perishable stuff. You know, clearing out the area. You can do that in the first few days without making it too much of a loss for not missing the programs. Why is it not? Oh, there we go. Right. Eventually we'll chop down a couple of these trees, and what I like to do is I barricade this window from the outside. I barricade the bedroom window from the outside, and then I do a single barricade of this window from the inside rather from the outside. So what that enables me to do is that if I attract somebody to the bedroom window, then I can escape from the front door. If the front door is a clusterfuck, then I can come out through this side. Because it's barricaded in the inside, then I can unbarricade it from while I'm inside, and then as if zombies have to come through, then I can fight them in a way similar to what you saw me do in the first house we spawned in. Basically give me a fighting chance. Hopefully, even if there are a lot of zombies on the outside, there aren't a lot of them at every single point of entry, because I haven't done anything to kind of attract them. That's the other thing. That's the other reason why I don't like watching programs in the beginning until I've cleared out the area, because I feel like the noise from the TV is going to attract zombies. Right, so we've saved the perishables. Let's carry on munching on the calories. Ooh, that's a lot. Ooh, hello. Which direction are they going in? See, this is what I mean. Because of this wall, they're less likely to be attracted by that and linger in here. So this guy is going to be attracted. He's going to start going around the wall in that direction, and then hopefully he'll be somewhere over here, but not right next to the house. Now, that being said, you can argue, well, there's a gated community in Riverside with many more gated houses. That's probably easier to defend and more likely to be protected against stuff like that, so why don't you go there? The main reason is because I have to clear far fewer zombies to secure this area than further downtown. And also because right from the get-go, it's clearing out zombies in this area is fairly achievable, and there are more rewards, because if I clear out, because the closest shop to the gated community further down is the Gigamart, which is in the center of town and much harder to clear out. And even if you do clear it out, there's far fewer contents. Well, not far fewer contents, but I think there's fewer contents when you compare it to what is in the gas station, the two shops we cleared earlier, and the Milk and More, plus Piffos. So I think there's more loot in terms of food, but certainly not tools and other stuff, which is why we're going to have to go to other shops further down. But certainly in the beginning, where you have to secure food, I think this is more rewarding. Plus, it's a better place for longer term stay, because you have the gas station next door. You know, and if you like to hoard vehicles like I do, then being close to a gas station is important. Or having easy access to a gas station. Alright, let's clear out this bunch and then let's move towards the gas station. Oh, please, please, please. Okay, good. I thought the other guy was gonna follow. Somebody has said, I can't remember who, I think it's Ambiguous Amphibian, that every horde has a leader, and if you lure the leader in a particular direction, then the rest of the horde is gonna follow. So I'm always worried when I attract a horde, that instead of kiting one of two of them around, I'm gonna invite the whole horde, and then it's gonna make it harder to fight. Is that everybody? That's everybody. Anything interesting? That'll be good for later. What I'm really looking for is like leather jackets and stuff like that, because I can use them to make patches. Leather jackets have good insulation. Now obviously what I'm ideally looking for is a blunt weapon, because at the moment every time I kill them I destroy their clothing. I need to keep looking through cars, and eventually there's a sports shop in town where I'll be able to find baseball bats. My two favorite weapons are the red fireman's axe. Well, I've got three actually. The red fireman's axe, the metal baseball bat, or in the absence of having that mod, the wooden baseball bat, and the pickaxe. So that's some breathing space. What's going on over here? The other thing I like about the gas station is that it's got the icebox on the outside and it's not too far from the house. Generally I don't like to pick it up before I have a vehicle, so I can just stick it in the vehicle, but because I like to freeze the perishables and you run out of space in the freezers around the neighborhood quite quickly, it's useful to take home once you start bringing all the frozen food, and then once you get into farming it's also quite useful for freezing the stuff that you farm. Last time I went into the police station I triggered an alarm and that made it off limits very quickly and for quite a while. Is that a key? Aha, gimme. Yeah. I'd like to go on a spending spree. What is the state of the vehicle? was not too bad. Tires are okay, brakes are okay, and the engine is 92. Not bad. And it's just almost full on gas. Good, that's 2 vehicles. Let's check the boot. Ooh, that's a smoke bomb. Nice. That's a survivor's car. Sometimes they have pipe bomb, and I like having a pipe bomb early from a survivor's car, because with a pipe bomb you can drive through town honking the horn, getting all the zombies that like to hide in shops and stuff like that, kite them towards the edge of town, and then set off the pipe bomb, and then basically clear out a couple hundred without the risk of getting tired or, you know, destroying your vehicle, or, you know, I mean, you always run the risk, obviously, you know, if you don't kite them around well, you know, and you have a lot of them, then they'll just inundate your vehicle. Oh, bollocks. And you'll die. No! 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 No. Just no. Now, I don't know... Let me check the condition of my clothes. I don't know if it was the clothes that absorbed that. No, there are no holes. I'm gonna need new clothes soon anyway. Right, so yeah. So that mistimed animation, or mistimed click, or whatever you want to call it, you know, I mean, it's, you know, we're in day 2 or day 3 or whatever it is now. You know, you can sort of justify your being slightly stupider and brave than cautious. But, you know, when it happens on day 100 with a leveled up character, it hurts. Is there a key for that car here? Let's try the police station. I mean, I'm not going to get a gun unless I find a silencer for it. But it's nice to have the option. And also in the beginning, when you get a gun, you suck at using it. You make a lot of noise, you attract a lot of zombies. So it's kind of like a death sentence. The only quote-unquote exception to that... Okay, it's locked, and let's get ready to trigger an alarm. The only exception to that is the shotgun, because the shotgun is kind of spray and pray, so it's not too bad. Alright, no alarm yet. And no alarm now. Okay, let's go and unlock the door. Give ourselves some that is a good Really? Really? That's the condition of it? Well, it's gonna die in like 3 hits. Is that in a better condition? Nope. Well, yep. So we'll attach that. Actually, no. We'll attach this. Go through them in the order of condition. I think in one of my first playthroughs I found an M9 in the drawer here, and I thought, huh, okay. That's a very safe practice for the police station. Now, I think there's a couple of zombies normally in here. which are useful to kill, or it's useful to lure zombies in here, because they give you the house key, which then means that you can open this door, which is normally locked. Let's see who's in here. Nobody here. Nobody here either. It's completely empty. Is there somebody lingering in the bathroom? Nope. Okay, so let's kite a zombie in here. See if we can get a house key and cheese the system. Big group over there. Smaller group over there. Let's kite one or two. Okay, he's coming. No, he's not coming. Come on. Hello. Oh, you coming? You're coming. Good. There we go. And if that one doesn't spawn with a house key, we'll try another one. Where are the police? Where are the cops? I suppose there's been that event that moved everybody in that direction. Alright, let's go. Come. Right. Give me house key. 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 Oh, you bugger. Alright. I'm guessing that was leveling up short blunt. Right. Let's try again. Sir? 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 Wow. Ma'am it is. That's the other thing. A lot of zombies who appear male tend to have long hair and no beards, so it's easy to confuse. Right. Give me a house key. 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 Take care of our needs before they ask us to take care of them. How am I doing for weight? There we go. 1 day, 1 kilo. Right. Sir, ma'am. Sir, ma'am. Right, let's try again. No other candidates. And then we really need to go to Spiffos before the burgers start rotting. And then over to the other burger shop, just in case we're able to save any of those. Because I'd much rather stick burgers in the fridge and then every time... not that I mind leveling up cooking skill, but... Give me a house key. 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 Oh, you bugger. No, actually I'm going to leave you in here just in case that affects the spawn rate. System refuses to be cheesed. Right, what did I level up? How am I doing? Short blunt is fine. Short blade is fine. Maintenance is going up. Yeah, that's realistic, but I think I put it up too much. But I only put it up like 5 times. See, that's a bit more realistic, you know. Anyway. Okay. You wearing a police top? No. You both look like civilians. We'll pretend one of you is a janitor or, you know, administrative staff or something. Right. Come closer, because I don't want to I don't want you getting kited by the window. Right. Give me a house key. Oh no! That's the end. I bet you that's the end. Give me a house key. 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 Okay, it's not the end, potentially. Give me a house key. 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 I only have myself to blame. And no house key? Exercise in futility. We'll try again. Wait, was that the... Did they bite through the bandage of... Okay. Whatever. Ooh, another candidate is approaching. Okay, good. Alright, if that doesn't work, we'll just go to Spiffos and then we'll wait for other people to move into the area. Okay, this time I do have the baton out. Good. Come. Alright, let's go a bit further in. Maybe that affects the spawn rate too. Give me a house key. Give me a house key. Give me a house key. Give me a house key! Oh, you buggers. Right. Hello. Hello. Hey. Are you deaf? Hello. Okay, good. Why are you panicked? You've killed 158 zombies. What are you panicking about? Right. Let's go closer to the door. System is not being cheesed. How annoying. Right. I want to go into the gas station shop, but those what I'm going to be doing there is I'm going to be moving stuff from the fridge to the freezer, whereas here the burgers and fries are sitting at the tables. So they go off quicker, so I'm going to grab all of those now. And the other thing that annoys me, it's like those burgers and fries I'm not going to be able to pick up because they're too far away and I can't force myself into that space. So those are going to go off and I'm not going to be able to grab them. Right. Burger, fries. Fries. See, I would very much like to go and grab that one there, but it doesn't let me. Alright, this one is next to a window, so I can kind of cheese it. Let's see if I can cheese this one in the same way. No. And before I go deal with the zombie, let's grab all the perishables. I grabbed the wrong thing, didn't I? Doesn't matter. What am I grabbing? I'm pretty sure I wanted to grab that. That's nearly all of them. And then I'll go deal with the zombie. Fluffyfoot the bunny. See, it doesn't make sense. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to question it. It's just a spawn thing. But why would the patty be... Well, I'm guessing it's the equivalent of it being resting on top of the thing, but who would have the fresh meat patty in the cupboard? Anyway. Food preservation to the max. Right. Stick everything in the freezer. I mean, in real life, if you did that with the fries, they would be pretty horrendous to eat afterwards. But, you know, in the game, it is what it is. Alright, I'm gonna grab one to eat later while they're still fresh, and let's go deal with that zombie. Actually, where's my burger? Let's eat half now, because why not? We're trying to fatten up anyway, which I think we're managing to do quite well. How's our wound doing? Disinfected again. And another bandage. What's that? Decoration, if you can call it that. Right. You are in here, aren't you? See if it works on you. Give me a house key. Give me a house key. Okay, it works on you. Spiffos has terrible toilets. That'll be useful later. Right. Any more there we go. There's another candidate. Sir? Or ma'am? Please follow me. Please follow me. That's right, keep following me, please. I don't know. I mean, obviously, it's for the purposes of ambience. You hear all sorts of animal sounds. Right. Give me a house key. 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 We'll try again. I much prefer it to breaking down the door. I mean, it wouldn't take too long to break down the door, given that we have the hand axe. I mean, you know what? I'm immature, I'm impatient. Where's my hand axe? Right. There we go. That's a lot faster. This will be useful for later, once I get scopes. There's a particular place on the map that I like to loot. If you go, I think it's west from here to the motorway, or the highway, or the interstate, or what that's supposed to be, you essentially end up in the northwest corner of the map by going west from here, because we're quite north. Not as north as Louisville, but the map doesn't really go further north from where we are now. So you start traveling south from there, and the first rest stop area you reach has a gun shop, and it's quite big and it's quite well stacked. So, and because it's out of the way, although there's quite a few zombies in the area, it's not as bad as going into the center of the town. And if you approach it fairly stealthily from the north east, you can sort of take them out in small numbers and reach the shop without, you know, it taking you forever. Now there's an M9, it has a magazine. Now what I want is a holster. Holster? No holster? Alright, so we'll leave those be then, until we find a holster. Because there's no point. Plus we're going to be really bad, plus it's going to be really loud, plus we haven't cleared out the area. Alright, we've done Spiffos. Now there's one more place nearby that is useful. And that's the next burger place. Now sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it's not. We'll see. In the beginning I do a lot of walking in the vicinity. Just clearing out zombies. And then if there's quite a few of them, because their spawn varies and their horde size varies. If there's quite a few of them, and I think it'll be, and I don't have enough, you know, weapons, or I don't have enough experience, or you know, I don't have enough stamina. I mean, this group I can take on by kiting them in small amounts. Now this is the place where I want to go and sort of save all the stuff that's in there. What I will do is I will drive past them to the um, sort of small residential area that's further to the west. Right? That sound for 3 zombies, really? I thought you only reserved that for like huge hordes, and unless I've been spotted by a huge horde which is approaching me. That's excessive, game. It's 3 zombies. And sure, with my stupidity, one is enough. But it's 3 zombies. There we go. Right, let's have a seat. Did I take anything else with me? There we go. We're trying to fatten up. One of the interesting side effects this game has had on me is the cooking mechanic has encouraged me, because I'm very lazy. If it's sort of, I don't like processed food as a sort of an exclusive diet. But if, for example, I can get, you know, a steak in a packet, which I throw into, you know, put some basic seasoning and throw it into the oven, you know, or if it's just stuff that I can prepare in 10 minutes and then, you know, let cook for another 20 or 30 or whatever. That's generally what describes most of the cooking that I do. And I don't go for stuff, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love food. I love, you know, strange tastes and new spices and different cuisines. But one of the things that I struggle to do is cook nice meals for myself, even though I enjoy them. I like cooking for other people. I love cooking for my kids. And having them over kind of encourages me to do slightly more complex cooking, and certainly healthier cooking for their sake. You know, because I'm sort of halfway along my life cycle. They are at the beginning, so I'd like to give them the best chance possible. Oh, did that die? Yeah, that died. Right. Let's give you the broken one. There you go, you can take that with you to the grave. And where's the other one? So yeah, as I was saying, this game has reminded me of the enjoyment I get out of eating the food, which kind of offsets my lack of enjoyment of cooking. The only exception to I have to enjoying cooking food is barbecues. I enjoy barbecues. I enjoy cooking on coal in general. And I don't know if it's sort of something about it being more primitive that speaks to a different part of my brain, you know, or the a societal association of, you know, man has to cook with fire and, you know, man is responsible of barbecue. I mean, you know, you can always argue that whenever you have the barbecue, the man takes the glory for cooking the meat, but it's usually the other people in the household who sort of help with the preparation and the salads and the cooking. And certainly when I was married, there was a lot of that going on. But even though I try to keep it to sort of a minimum, so it's not you know, the other people in the household or my significant other who was doing all the why aren't you dying? Just die. So it wasn't my significant other who was, you know, doing the salad and the this and the that. Is that a cop? I mean, as soon as I saw the cop, I'm like, okay, good. I can lure them into the into the station and get the house key. But we've already broken down the door, so it doesn't really matter. But I enjoy the process of the barbecue. Um, Getting the fire going, you know, getting the meat, the spices, the smoke. I don't know, that always speaks to me. But becoming a single parent, it's not. I don't know. It's just, you know, cooking for yourself. I don't find it very rewarding. You know, I'd much rather, you know, cook for my kids or and do complicated and fancy stuff for them. I find it far more rewarding doing it that way. Okay, if you noticed, I did this guy first and in a separate place. No, that's not what I wanted to do. And that's so that I find his body easier afterwards and loot his body easier. Yeah, let's attach it to the holster. Why not? Doesn't cost anything. Yeah, and I tend to do that with. I try and whenever there's a group coming, I try and sort of isolate the ones that I have, like the duffel bags or you know whatever I find interesting, and kill them in slightly separate places, so I don't have to go digging through all the bodies afterwards. I also do realize that if any of my neighbors can sort of hear, or you know, I mean the window's closed now, but when it was open before, if people could hear me from the outside without any of the context, that would not be a good thing. Right, how's the burger? Gimme. The burgers are still fresh. I'm glad I was able to come here before all this stuff rotted, because it just makes life a little bit easier later. You know, because obviously the cooking mechanic here, especially with the add-on, is nice and complicated, and you know you can add. Who puts meat in a cupboard? Anyway, it's nice and complicated, and you can add this and you can add that and add this spice, add that spice, and it's like chop, 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 no effort, and everything happens very quickly. Obviously, it's not going to be like that in real life. I mean, it is for some people. For me, it's not. It feels like very much of a chore. And I realize that I'm complaining again. I'll probably be doing that a lot, but I need to stop. Right. Ooh, 6 ice creams. Yes, please. Right, 2 burgers, 2 fries, minced meat, and plenty of potatoes. Right, let's have some ice cream. I haven't had... I've had burgers recently, but I haven't had McDonald's in a very long time. And don't get me wrong, it's not like, you know, I think everybody who eats McDonald's knows that the food quality is, well, it is what it is. I don't think anybody's under the illusion that they're having healthy meals. I think the only exception I personally know of, and I'm sure there are other similar exceptions around the world, is that I come from, or I grew up in Greece, and one of the most successful burger chains in Greece um, had a great USP or unique selling point, which is the salad bar. You're able to sort of get salads, make your own salads, and that was very important um, to those eating there. So much so that when McDonald's came to Greece, it was almost mandatory that they would need to have the salad bar if they were able to compete. And initially, the first store they opened was um, in the most, tourist-heavy, in terms of foot traffic, area of Central Athens. Um, and most of the people who were in there were the tourists. Um, and they couldn't figure out why it wasn't becoming successful. I mean, obviously there were people who knew of McDonald's, who never had McDonald's, or had McDonald's. Well, they visited abroad, but there was nothing that was compelling about McDonald's compared to the local fast food chains. So McDonald's did a lot of market research, and they figured that it was the salad bar and other similar things, or food that was appropriate for those who fast during Lent and they can't eat certain types of food. And it was only through the accommodation of the copying of the salad bar, because I don't think I'd ever seen salad bars in any McDonald's anywhere in the world. And I was fortunate enough to travel to quite a few countries around Europe um, while I was younger, and it was sort of one of the things that we would do sort of as a tradition. It's like, you're abroad, there's McDonald's, let's go to McDonald's. And I'd never seen a salad bar in any other McDonald's. And I don't think I've seen a salad bar in any McDonald's in the UK or any other country since it became a thing in Greece. Let's drink one of those. Right, I think our food preservation work is done for today. I think we've achieved. I'd like to go to the Gigamart and do the same, but it's just gonna be too heavy in zombies. Right, any keys on the ground? Who has a crash and just locks their car and buggers off? My immersion. My immersion. Okay, I mean, this one is parked here. Yeah, it makes sense. Whoever left this car here locked it and left. Anyway. Wasn't I just... right. Sometimes... Actually, just thinking about it. Sometimes the... Ooh, this will be useful. And so will this. Wait, what? Garbage bags will be useful later as well. Knives and forks. Did I search that? Sometimes you get the... but not in this case. Right. How's our weight doing? Still going up. With 2 chevrons. Good. Let's keep stuffing our face. Although for some reason I feel like the underweight trait doesn't seem to be affecting us as negatively as before. I don't know, maybe it's just me having been used to the game and not spamming run. That's nice. Another key. There's a bit of fuel. Okay. Good stuff. Alright, let's read those, because we haven't read those. So our map is still unknown. Okay, good. So, that's another free car. What about this one? I'm not getting greedy, it's just that, you know. Because eventually... well, that's not true. When it comes to hoarding stuff, I do become greedy. So, eventually I'm going to break into all of these cars and hotwire them. And put gas in them and everything. Just because it makes me feel better. To have options. Right. There's too many of you in my neighborhood. Let's kite you out of here. Sorry, Samantha, you will die. Just keep running. I'm probably going to fast forward through this part because nobody wants to see that. Okay, Samantha's dead. I can guarantee that. And now is the time when I wish I had a pipe bomb. This is kind of like the perfect setup. You kite them in, you set off a pipe bomb, some of them get set on fire, and then you just run around in circles and keep setting each other on fire, and then however many you've been able to kite into the neighborhood are gone, and you don't have to deal with them. They won't invade your privacy at night. Right, this is not the kind of thing I want to do though. I want to avoid hitting them as much as possible, because I want to stay fairly close to them so I can keep kiting more and more away from my own neighborhood. But if you run into them, you worsen the condition of your vehicle. At some point, your engine will stall, and it will take a bit of time, potentially, for it to start up again. And if that happens, and there's a lot of them close by, um, they will overwhelm your car, and then you'll die. Because you won't be able to start your car, and then yeah, you'll just sit in place as more of them approach, and then you won't even be able to escape the car from any direction. Alright, let's guide them a little bit further to the west. This direction is west, by the way. And then we'll bugger off in a different direction. And that should be sufficiently far for them to not all wander in one massive horde back towards where we're staying. Alright, see you later. Yep. Is there anything interesting in here? Not more burnt cars than usual. No, nothing particularly exciting. Oh well. Let's go home. What are you panicking about? How many have we killed now? 187. In a day and a half. What exactly are you panicking about? Well, I mean, you can argue that you've been bitten twice. Or not bitten, but injured twice. But still. You're gonna be at it for a while, because your door is barricaded. Let's go have a look. Oh, you're in a room that has no window. Okay. Well, let's open your windows, so you don't break any of them, because I'd like to use them later. Once I expand the other side to have a second floor, I'd like to loot the windows from here. Oh, bugger off. I've already taken ownership in this house, of this house. Right, there we go. Well, I've never caught a radio program before. Right. I really wish I had a crowbar to see if I could remove that window while it's stuck. Right, you play with that door for a while. Right, I think we've achieved most of our tasks for the first day and a half. We've sort of cleared out the neighborhood, some of it through fighting and some of it through making good use of sound mechanics. Obviously we still have a lot more to do. We've preserved a lot of perishables in the fridges around the neighborhood and the stores around the neighborhood. What sort of next on the list would be, based on our skills, short blunt, that's the nightstick. Short blade, I don't, those are not my favorite, to be honest. We are getting better at maintenance. I would like to develop axe, so maybe I'll start using the axe, because eventually I would like to be able to use the axe or the pickaxe. But my ultimate goal is to level up long blunt, because baseballs. And eventually we'll get into guns and stuff like that. So, I'm going to leave this episode here. Thank you very much for watching. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe because I can't guarantee that I'm going to be uploading anything that's going to be worth watching. But thank you very much for stopping by. Thank you for making it all the way to the end, if you did. And I do hope that you do drop in on my channel from time to time, just, you know, to see what's up. Take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you soon.